Welcome, beautiful soul family. I'm the magical medium, and today Spirit called me to do a bonus reading for you. I was going through my own detachment process as I'm deciding what's moving with me and what's not. And I was really being fickle. There was a few things like I go through with my pendulum, especially if I don't want to let something go. And it was so cute because I had this moment where I was like, and then all of a sudden, literally, like I have my meditation music on, and all of a sudden, like out of the speakers comes the law of detachment. And Deepak Chopra was just so on and awesome. It was exactly what I needed to hear. I was like, yep, you're right. I don't need these things. I can let these things go. And it was really remarkable. And so I said, wow, I'd really like to do a reading on that, soon with everybody, as we are coming out of spring, or for our Southern Hemisphere people coming out of fall and going into summer or winter. It's a pretty profound experience. And I always find that whenever we're transitioning between seasons, it can be a little fickle. There's that sweet spot when you're in it. You know what I mean? There's that sweet spot when you're in it, and it's awesome where you're like, oh, you're like really settled into the season. And just when you're like getting good and settled, it changes. And that's life, isn't it? Because even if you live somewhere where you don't have quote unquote seasons, the energy changes. Because even if you don't, there are people that you talk to or see on social media or whatever. Even if you live in Florida and it's December, if you see other people with gloves on and things like that, that computes. I know because I lived in Los Angeles for a very long time. And I remember after like 7 years, moving from Chicago, by the way, I remember saying, oh my gosh, I'm like, I cannot take it another day. Like, I need like no sun. I'm like, let it rain, let it pour, And it's funny because be careful what you wish for. Growing up on the south side of Chicago, we had hard winters. I mean, I had horrible memories of using an extension cord with my blow dryer to literally melt the locks in my car because I couldn't get in my car. Yeah. And then after 7 years of summer, although I will say the first few years I lived in LA, I was like, you guys are all crazy. I'd go home and I'm like, hey, why are you living here? This is awful. And I had to go through all those phases myself. But now at 50 years old, I see things so differently, so differently, so differently. And it's just such a gift. I love aging. I love growing older. I love the wisdom that we gain from personal experience. You can explain something to somebody or tell somebody something, but until you actually go through it. So today we're going to be talking about detachment, like I said. So we have 5 different readings in front of you. Now listen, each one of these readings, there's only one card. So you may be drawn to more than one, okay? This is just like what you need to hear right now. Like what is it that you're, not letting go of, that you need to let go of? And also Spirit saying, if you're not ready for this reading, don't watch it right now, but do go down into the description box and look at the links that I'm going to provide from Deepak Chopra for these meditations. Please listen to them, both of them, when you have time. They're not very long. And listen to the whole album if you want to, of each one, or CD, whatever you call it. You could tell my age. But anyway, the rest one was so crazy because right before I started this, I've been like going balls to the wall. I was like editing all morning and posting stuff, and then I was going through all my clothes and going through stuff and just getting rid of stuff, and then I just felt fired up and I'm like, I want to do this reading. And then as I sat down to meditate, I literally heard rest, and I was like, oh, you don't want me to do the reading? And then I just felt them like they're like, no, just sink into it. And I listened to it, and then I knew exactly what they were saying. It's part of this. So, also make sure that you rest and take care of yourself. It's literally called like Spirit Warriors or something like that, the album. It's amazing. So we have reading 1, reading 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. And I will try and find, it'll most likely Spirit's going to have me put the same imagery, emojis or whatever. So it's basically whatever you see in front of you is what it is. So if you feel it, if you know it, go to it now. If not, then, when you're ready. But I'm going to tell you right now, of those of you who are new here, I don't bullshit. Like, I don't have time to bullshit. In fact, I'm going to go down a little bit if you want to see it even more, like watch it pop out, right? Like what's popping out at you. It's my job, you guys. You know, I do it the best I can with as much love as possible. I am a loving light being. I'm a super, super heart-centered loving light being, but I'm also a badass motherfucker. You know, I wouldn't have been born and raised on the south side of Chicago with my family and friends if I wasn't meant to be a fucking baller. So, you know, but I also, at the same token, I was that friend that people are like, Lula, you know, but back then I went more by Kelly, you know, and they would, you know, call to me just like I would call to them. Like we helped each other. We literally held each other up in some, you know, cases. So, you know, I'm also here to love you and hold space for you and tell you you're not alone and share my stories with you and share my life with you. You know, I've gone through a lot. And if you need a more personal reading, or even if you just need some questions, some direct questions answered that don't come across in these readings, all of my information is in the description box below. I only charge $50 for a recorded reading. Sometimes they're 20 minutes, sometimes they're an hour and a half. It's just whatever comes through, okay? It's just the one-on-ones are a little more expensive because that's my personal time. And, you know, we're logging in that time together. So there's a lot of things that go around that. When it's a recorded video, I can kind of, you know, give you a time space of when it'll, you know, be due and all that good stuff. And I can just take my time and do it whenever I want, in the middle of the night, in the morning, you know. So, and also just my energy in general. It's a lot different when it's one-on-one, but you'll still feel me through that video. And Reiki. I can do Reiki in person and Reiki over the phone, but my rates are the same. So let's get to this, shall we? And let me just put my own little infusion and say, fear not, my friends. Fear not. Fear is a man-made construct to keep us in line like zombies. You have free will here. You are divinely protected. They want you to believe that you're not. They want you to believe that if you don't believe in what they believe in, that you're going to go to this HE double hockey sticks place that doesn't exist. I mean, it exists, but it's one that you create, you know, like I spoke about in the last pick a reading, you know, demons, darkness, poltergeists. They're all these things that we create and co-create with other people. It's all energy. So, you know, it's your world. You get to decide what it looks like, what it feels like. And if you're ready for your messages, I'll see you over at your reading. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to check me out on Tickety Talk. All my information is in the About section and in the description box below if you'd like to contribute to keep this wonderful energy flow going. I thank you so much for your time, your patience, and your energy. I love you, I love you, I love you. I'll see you at your reading. All the information's in the description box below, and I'll see you over there. Blessed be. Oh,